Hey guys, welcome to my first unboxing video on my main channel in 2025, and I'm going to be unboxing a brand new MacBook that I got from Costco for $971.97. Also, I need to transfer my data from my early 2015 13-inch MacBook Pro to the newer one. So anyways, let's begin this unboxing. Inside this brown package is the 15-inch MacBook Air with the M3 chip. So I rip this tab and get the white box out of the brown package. The sides of the box has the MacBook Air logos and two Apple logos. It has the picture of the MacBook Air in the front, and on the back of the box it has an 8GB unified memory and a 512GB SSD. Alright, to open the white box, it has two tabs to pull it up. So let's open it. Alright, the moment of truth. Here's the MacBook Air. Let's set that aside. It's a different MagSafe connector. It was way different than the other MagSafe connector from the old MacBook. This is a charging brick with two USB-C ports. Warranty information, quick start guide, and Apple stickers. Alright, let's peel off this thing. What a very good MacBook. Let's open it up. To turn it on, I need to get out the charger, so I need to boot it up. And this is actually the MagSafe connector, so you can tell the difference between the old MagSafe connector and the new one. Alright, let's plug this adapter in. It turns on! It's time to set it up now. So it has the hello screen, and let's begin. So I hit enter to start the setup, and let's choose the language. So I'm going to go with Spanish, Latin America. But you guys can choose English as your primary language. So let's go with that one. Let's choose the country and region. So I choose United States. Alright, I'm gonna go with mail. And you can tell your language, your keyboard layout, and dictation. So we're gonna continue. Accessibility. I'm just saying not now. Let's connect to Wi-Fi. So I'm gonna do this off camera. Alright, we're connected to the internet. It says data and privacy, so I'm just gonna go to continue. So migration assistant. Since I have an older MacBook, I'm gonna transfer for another Mac or a time machine backup. So I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna do this off camera. Okay, I opened the migration assistant on my older MacBook, so let's go ahead and choose from another Mac. So let's continue. And continue. This is the MacBook, which is my old one. So this is the MacBook Pro model, so let's continue. Okay, the newer MacBook shows up with the 6-digit code, and I have to select continue on the old MacBook, and this is where to do its thing now. Alright, you have the data from my older MacBook, so I click continue. I gotta put in my password, and we're gonna accept the terms and conditions as well. And I'm gonna accept that because it has the newer version of macOS. So let's accept that. The data transfer started, so I'm going to come back once they're finished. Migration process is completed. It restarts by itself, and now we're going to continue the setup process. continue the setup process, I typed in my password, I choose mail again, I skip the accessibility, I log into my Apple ID, and I don't know what file valid is. Alright, so now we're going to set up Touch ID, so... Alright, Touch ID is ready, continue. I don't want Apple Pay, so I'm just gonna set it up later. And now it's time to choose my wallpaper. This is the black wallpaper for my old MacBook, so I'm just gonna go with the Sonoma one, because this is what this wallpaper looks like. Once I'm done with the setup process, let's compare side by side. Let's start with login. On the old MacBook, you can type in the password, and on the new one, you can unlock your Mac using Touch ID. The old one has a smaller trackpad, and as for the new one, it has a slightly larger trackpad. And next, we're going to go with the backlit keys. On the old MacBook, it has the keys for backlit, and on the new one, it doesn't have it because it has dictation and do not disturb. But that's okay if you want to do it throughout the control section or in the menu bar, but those features can be found in system settings, so you can turn your keyboard brightness on or off. Let's talk about the control and option keys on both MacBooks. On the old MacBook, the control key doesn't have a symbol, while the option key has the word Alt in it. And on the newer MacBook, it has the symbols on it. Now let's talk about the operating systems. My old MacBook was running Mac OS 12.7.6 Monterey, which this Mac OS ended support on November 30th, 2024. And the new one was running Mac OS 14.3 Sonoma, which I can upgrade to Mac OS 15 Sequila once I'm finished with this video. Now let's talk about the processors. The old MacBook has an Intel Core i5 processor, while the new one has the Apple Silicon M3 chip. And let's talk about the glowing Apple logos. The old one has the glowing Apple logo, and the newer MacBook does not because it removed the glowing Apple logo back in 2016. And let's talk about the function keys. The function keys on the old MacBook are very small. And on the new MacBook, those function keys are taller, including the Touch ID sensor on it. And one thing's for sure, it has a globe key so you can change your keyboard language, as you can see. And that's about it for this video, so thanks for watching this video. I'm gonna be using this MacBook to be the new editing machine, so thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't want to miss out more videos. And as always, I'll see you next time. Peace out.